is Israel held to a different standard in its own defense than the rest of
I think that's very well put. And looking at it this way has persuaded me that people will just need to grow accustomed to Israel winning. Um, it's an important point there hidden in the main focus of that clip that somehow the world is obsessed with Jews and obsessed with Israel. Somehow the world is obsessed with Jews and obsessed with Israel. But hidden in that clip is also the reality that people are just uncomfortable with Jews winning wars as Jews. And I guess they're just not used to it. And I guess they will get used to it because the previous policy of Israel was like the policy of the United States regarding the Soviet Union, not direct confrontation, but containment. Well, containment didn't work. The contained streamed out of their land, Gaza, into our land, Israel, and proceeded to slaughter the equivalent of 35,000 Israelis. And our friends, because they also slaughtered African people, Asian people, they slaughtered Americans on that day, October 7th, 2023. And the world can minimize it as much as they want. They can blame the victim as much as they want. They can suddenly betray their stance of believing all women. They believe all women unless they're Jewish women, in which case they just make up lies. World can do that. Israel isn't going to do that, and Israel is not going to succumb to the world's discomfort with Jews winning wars. The Gaza war is a war which Israel is winning and will continue to win. The Hezbollah war with Lebanon's occupying military terrorist force there. Hezbollah is an Iranian militant, funded and trained and armed military occupation of southern Lebanon with the express purpose of destroying the Jewish state. Israel is winning that war handily and will continue to do so because apparently being nice didn't work. So again, after years of kind of passive retreat from direct military confrontation by Jews, whether it was Israel or the Jewish people in diaspora prior to that, in which when we were attacked, we absorbed the blow and moved on. This is a new tactic. The tactic is we will fight them where we live. We live in Israel, and they have come into our land and attempted to destroy us. Their words, not ours. They've tried to commit genocide, and we're not going to let them. We're going to break them. I just want to be very clear. If you come and bother Jews, we're coming for you. If you point a gun at us, we will come and take those guns out of your hand, and we're not going to do it gently. I'll end it there, Scott.
Norm, a very articulate and passionate defense of Israel there and the Israeli people. And yeah, I mean, I do think this is a subtle form of anti-Semitism. Well, not a subtle form, I'm sorry, Norm, it's not subtle. But it's a form of anti-Semitism that Galloway identifies there, right? That this is not, there's a discomfort with Israel, Jews, fighting asymmetrical wars, right? That it's okay when Gentiles do it, and people were not uncomfortable. No one calls this genocide, and when we have in asymmetrical warfare decimated our enemies, but when Israel does it, it somehow is genocidal, which I think you have to ask some serious questions about. Yeah. So, Daniel, welcome to the stage. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. Uh,
Hello.
Personally, I don't have anything I disagree with yet. So,
Well, we like that. We like ringing endorsements here on this show. We love it.
I don't want to repeat everything that was said. I just like maybe one thing that I think it's like different parties that are using it. Israel, uh, like the Israel conflict, not just the Islamists, but also like Russia and China, because they see that this is a topic that is dividing the Western society and actually tears them up. And I think they also push stories from both sides to kind of radicalize the topic. Politicians worldwide basically are, they can just say free Palestine and they get immediately the entire Muslim vote without actually needing to do anything apart from it. Um, it's sad, and I hope that the world will wake up because every society that has anti-Semitism, yes, it targets the Jews, but it corrupts the entire society. That's it. I'll keep it short.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you for that. And we're going to bring up and mod the great Steve Appel, host of one of the most popular shows on the entire app. Well, two of the most popular shows. Of course, Saturday we have Ask Uncle Steve, which runs from 10 to 1 p.m. EST. That's 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard for those on the left coast. And he also runs the Atheist same time, Eastern, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sundays, and 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. if you're on the left coast. Good afternoon, Uncle Steve. What say you today?
Scott, I just wanted to point out when he says "F the atheist," we know what he's really saying.
Okay. Well,
Right, he's saying, "Ask Uncle Steve."
Hello, everybody, and from the bottom of my heart, I hope all of you have an amazing, happy hump day.
Can I just say that, in my opinion, the liberal, progressive, free atheist terrorists on this app and across the world, one of their reasons why they're so politically polarized is because the truth of the matter is they are atheists. They don't see the beauty, the value of God and the wisdom and the knowledge in the books of God. And these people are low IQ regressives. They don't believe in intelligence and information, gathering knowledge, implementing peace in their own personal lives. They don't know the self. They don't study philosophy. And Steve here is a Jew. He's a very successful man. But I would just say that with the terrorists and with the Democrat thieves and communists, atheism is at the root cause of their own personal problems and the root cause of their political strife. I am complete.
How dare you?
let's have right in there.
How dare you?
Of course, everybody remembers Greta Thunberg's speech. A little wider.
Uncle Scott, I have soundboard jealousy. I'm a soundboard envy. Uncle Scott, Reverend Scott, I have to say, I just love that. Could we hear that like another couple of times?
Sure, sure. I'll give you the 8-second version. Oh, that's too quiet. Let's do the regular one.
How dare you? How dare you?
Doesn't get any better than that.
No, I was looking for better. And then we, of course, we got Baba Bowie. Baba Bowie. Uncle Steve, how are you ready? Do you have any spontaneous pop-up rooms planned for Uncle Steve, or don't you know? Is that the beauty of the spontaneity?
Well, I'm currently working, so I'm listening to you in the background, and I've got a lot of work to do through the remainder of the week, so I would say, unfortunately, no pop-up rooms for the remainder of the week, but as we've been doing for the past 5 years, as you said, thank you, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday and Sunday, we'll be going again for another 3-hour tour.
And Uncle Steve has said repeatedly on today's topic that he is a staunch supporter of Israel, but that does not mean Israel gets a blank check, right, Uncle Steve? But you are a supporter of Israel, but no country gets a blank
government more than anyone is the Israelis. We just criticize Israel for real things and not made up things. So criticize Israel 100% legitimate. No one would ever say otherwise. And if they say that it's a stupid stand.
Yeah, no, I think that's correct, right? I think, yeah, I mean, no, I've never met, I mean, Israel is fiercely critical of its own government, just like the United States. This is part of a liberal democracy, right? In a liberal democracy like Israel, you are free to critique the government. You are free to protest the government's actions. You are free to not support the ongoing war efforts. And I wish that in a lot of illiberal states that exist in the region, you had those same freedoms, but unfortunately you don't. And
how about the liberals who support the things that they stand by? For example, about the liberal democracy. In fact, we have people like Ambrose that can be with their face and name and speak out the way they speak, kind of show how tolerant and how even the most radical anti-Zionist voices can be heard. It's not a problem. This is not happening in Gaza or the West Bank. You cannot speak out against Hamas. The liberals should understand that the lack of criticism doesn't mean that there is no criticism. Same as there are no reporting on rapes in one country, or as Medinachat once said that there are no gays in Iran. Kind of ask yourself why there is nothing come out of Gaza that is critical of Hamas, or in their newspapers. Even when they shoot their own people, you will not find it on the liberal media. So I don't think it's liberal anymore. I think they kind of hijacked also the word progressive or liberal, because I thought I was one, but now I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm not any of that.
thank you so much. Great to hear from you, Daniel. Norm, we've had a lively room today. This is a lot of fun. I'd like to hear some more Democrats. Interesting to hear. I think largely, Norm, we've had Israel supporters. We have not had many Israel detractors. I think that would be interesting to support hear the other side.
Loud and proud.
Can I just say something about Jewish philosophy, if I may? Like, it's very much like yin and yang, or the duality and the non-duality, the opposites. All the libel and accusations and slander against Israel, against Jews, with regards to genocide, from these anti-Zionists, don't understand that in Judaism, the pairing of opposites creates the one aspect. And so I'm just telling you, Jews love variety. They love a buffet, and they don't want to quash culture or quash or do any kind of thing that would upset the balance. They want equilibrium.
This speaks on you got to use the correct language. The Jewish word for buffet is smorgasbord.
What I'm just saying is the Middle East needs an equilibrium, and the security situation with terrorism and the polarization and ideology. I was in Israel in 2002, and I met with Palestinians that crossed over from the West Bank, risking their lives to come talk to a group of American Jews on Birthright Israel. And we met with Israeli generals talking about the conflict with Egypt, the Cold War there. Israel is a state consistently and unfortunately always at war for security. Israel doesn't want that type of aggression. If we could somehow create an equilibrium and a peace, but it's the conflict between Islam, the ideology of it, versus the Jews, which, if you look at the Charter of Medina, the history is there for the politicization and the ideology and the conflict and the friction. It's a very unfortunate reality. But the truth is that strength is the great joy of the world, and the individuals who don't want peace, that won't give up their weapons, the gun is a political tool of survival. And I just hope that we could get a lot of these insane terrorists kicked off of this app, like Amir, and we can contact Clubhouse security and say, just go to Amir's room and listen to how he promotes terrorism, murder of innocent people for the sake of political gain. That's what Amir's room does. It's an echo chamber of mind virus, brain rot, hate. They don't read books. They don't do peaceful meditation songs praying for internal peace, for world peace. They promote murder. So how do we let platforms like this get away with it? Why doesn't Clubhouse security censor these terrorists? Hello?
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody puts my candidate in the corner. Where do you go? That's strange.
I'm just saying there's a double standard when it comes to Israel hate, to Jew terrorism, murder, communication. The double standard is not just on this app, it's on YouTube, it's on all platforms. TikTok has recently only just begun censoring the insane Jewish libel, slander, hate, defamation, murder, death threats that these platforms distribute. It's very dangerous to be, in my opinion, to go out with Jewish representation, meaning a yarmulke or a tzitzit. If you go to a liberal progressive Democrat meeting or event, there are women and men that really hate Jews now because of all the propaganda that has been created on these platforms over the past couple of years. And I knew after October 7th that Gaza was cooked, that they were going to find out what bunker busters were. And when you watch the footage from Supernova, it's so appalling and revolting and barbaric and piratish and bizarre and terrifying that there's no more messing around. Videos don't tell lies. And when you see the insanity of these Islamic terrorists, Islamist pirates, butchering, slaughtering, raping, taking hundreds of hostages, we're talking about like an apocalyptic footage that cannot and never should happen again. Huge security failure. I mean, personally, I don't understand why, it's really the art of surprise, war, and all these decisive battles. I have a book on the 15 most decisive battles in human history. And thank God we have Trump, because Trump knows the art of surprise. And Pete Hegseth and our military leaders now aren't men dressed up as women. And we are prosecuting the leakers in the administration and in the apparatus who are constantly sharing classified information, military intelligence information. We have a serious government now. And Israel has a serious government and serious people that are in a war against terrorism.
Thank you so much. I'm going to play here, El Normo, a little clip. By the way, hello to Faria. Nice to see you. I'm going to play a little clip, Norm, from Bill Maher debating Anna Kasperi. It's a very short clip on Israel-Hamas conflict. By the way, El Normo, I just wanted to make it be known that this is from today's commentary newsletter, which I subscribe to. 44% of American Muslims have a favorable view of Hamas. It's almost half. So I don't know what you do with that, but
Big fans.
big fans. Norm, I guess we need a word. Appalled but not surprised. Is that the kind of proper response? I don't know.
No, that's good.
Here we go.
We need a drop that says big fan.
How dare you?
Here we go. Here's a little Bill Maher and Anna Kasperi.
Israel has been being attacked by Hamas. First of all, the entire Arab world rejected them for 75 years. They kept trying to make a deal. They kept saying, no, we want it all. That's what from the river to the sea means. It means we want it all. We don't want a compromise. They've never wanted a compromise. Israel gave Gaza back.
But did they? But
Gave
Bill,
it back.
but Bill,
In
let's
2000
say our country was occupied by Mexico, right? We have a bunch of people who are occupying our land, and then they decide,
It's
you know what,
not
we're
your
gonna hold on,
land,
let me
and they
finish.
weren't occupying
Let me
it.
finish. Let's say Mexico decides, you know what, we're gonna leave, but we're gonna control their electricity, what goes in, what comes out.
Because they were attacking
We're gonna mow the lawn and just like randomly decide we're gonna slaughter
Because-
people because they allegedly threw rocks.
Be-
They have literally
Well, they
nuclear.
didn't allegedly.
I mean, Israel has nuclear weapons, Bill. They have nuclear
And
weapons.
they don't, and
They
that's,
have the world's
Right.
military superpower backing them.
right. Well, they have nuclear weapons which they don't use. If Hamas
No,
had,
no, they don't use it, but
just
just pretend like.
If Hamas had a nuclear weapon, how many seconds would it take before they used it on Israel?
I have no idea.
Three's the answer. 3 seconds.
How do you know that, Bill? Come on.
Because it's in their charter.
If they used a nuclear weapon against Israel, I'm pretty sure
Well,
the very land
oh,
that
okay.
Hamas cares about
Yes.
would be done with.
Okay,
They'd be
well
done.
then they would be martyrs, and that would be a good thing, because that's their death cult view of the world. It's a good thing when you die. That's why they strap suicide vests sometimes on children. The fact that you can't see the moral difference between these two sides always amazes me.
I actually don't see the moral difference when you have like Bezalel Smotrich and Ben Gvir literally talking about exterminating the entire population of Gaza.
Okay,
I
we're
mean,
not talking about
And these are not, they are. I mean, the statements are brazen, they're upfront, they're honest, this is what they
Okay.
actually want to do.
Well,
I mean, the West Bank is another example.
It's in
The
Hamas.
West Bank had nothing to do with
But
what
that's-
happened on October 7th, but they're annexing that land anyway. They're raining terror on innocent people, innocent Palestinians. They're driving them out of their homes. Like, listen, I am willing to admit, because it's the truth, that what Hamas did on October 7th was a fucking atrocity.
Oh, wow.
Killing innocent
Who
people.
couldn't admit
If you have a difficult time at least acknowledging the atrocities that have been committed against innocent civilians in Gaza.
Well, it depends on what you call an atrocity. All wars are going to have
A
atrocities.
double tap on a hospital?
All war.
A double tap on a hospital? So
I
when
don't know,
the first
of all,
responders show up?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I vaguely remember the thing.
Right.
Yeah, first of all, that's an old terrorist trick. That's what they do all the time.
Okay, but are you at least going to acknowledge that the idea of doing that is wrong?
Yeah, I'm sure they have committed what we would call war crimes, as every army does in every war.
Right, including our own.
Yeah, what? In every
Right.
war, including the Civil War.
Scott, I think your mic is away.
I think Scott is involved in a real life conversation.
No, that's
Go ahead.
that's Bill Maher. He's talking with that woman from the Young
No, we
Turks.
heard that part, but then the clip ended, and we heard Scott talking in the background.
Oh, I see. Well,
Do you have more for us, John?
yeah, war is a dirty business, and it's, kill or be killed, and it's chess. It's a chess game or a checker game of life, and liberty, and the American.
Victory.
I would just, I don't know if you saw the videos of who's the Democrat speaker, Jeffries, Hakeem. From a public relations standpoint, his Democrat progressives, his socialist, communist, liberals, when they see him screaming "Israel today, Israel forever," and they label him an AIPAC bought-out candidate, they're not wrong. He's not necessarily. See, Hakeem Jeffries, he's a lawyer from Georgetown, and he's a schmuck, and he's a politician. You could say the spice must flow. That, if you say austerity now, you might be the dumbest economist in the world, because we live in a global mountain of debt. Every major country that does fiat currency and currency manipulation and growing the economy by increasing the deficits, it becomes like a civilizational chessboard type of dynamic. And I saw a really interesting quote from Lindsey Graham today that I'd like to briefly read to you. You're going to get a kick out of this one.
I've heard two rumors about him, John. One, that he's gay, and two, that he's dead. And I have a feeling at least one of them is true.
Well, listen to this. This, I think, really speaks to the truth of the situation. This is a quote by Lindsey Graham. Either way, the stakes remind me of a question I once asked Graham on a long flight over Central Asia. At what point in his career, I wondered, had he gathered the boldness to assert himself so overtly in foreign policy? This was Lindsey Graham's response. When I was first elected to the House, he recalled, I looked for the they who run things, they who know how things really work, they who know what they are doing, but I couldn't find the they. After that, he went on, I went to the Senate, but there was still no they. And then I started to get invited to the White House into closed-door briefings and to meetings with top officials. No they. When I finally realized, he concluded, is that there is no they. There is only we. And we, you don't know what the fuck we are doing.
Reverend Scott, what do you think? You believe the rumors are true that Lindsey Graham is A, gay, and or B, dead?
I think the question really is Mitch McConnell alive? And we certainly know that Lindsey Graham had some sugar in his tank. Steve, I was wondering, I have so many books on God, on wisdom, on knowledge, all this information. And now when I listen to atheist rooms and I hear people debating with Christians or Muslims or Jews or any faith, what I have realized, what's happening in the communication dynamic is it's a put-down game. A little bit like the Gong Show. Because the atheists aren't actually saying anything intelligent. They are simply doing put-down communication with the theist. Do you not see the stupidity of that game? Because the atheist is not sharing any information. The atheist is just doing put-down communication over and over. It's like the Gong Show. So there's no intelligence, no information. It's not even an audiobook. So it's very limited communication. And I just wonder, do you not see the stupidity of atheist communication? Oh, I see. Steve is busy filing Social Security disability income claims for thousands of illegals in California. Got to pay the kids' college bills. Welcome to Casa de Appel with my mod squad. Hold on! If a mod is speaking, go on mute. Go on mute. Go on mute. Okay, you're kicked to the goo. Welcome to the Steve Apple experience. I am a Fagala, and I am out of the closet. I was part of the lifestyle. And now here on Clubhouse in Casa de Appel, you can hear me scream at people and say, hold on a minute, go on mute, a gazillion times as I sip my Bacardi and have a cigarette in the Casa de Appel. Hold on, the gardener and the pool boy is here. It's the Steve Apple Atheist Show. Go ahead, JCC. Well, Steve, I feel like what this theist is saying is just as ridiculous as saying there's a God that lives on the sun. So, ladies and gentlemen, this app is a put-down app. It's not an audio book. It's not a 2 terabyte data transfer of a 600-page book full of complex ideas. No, it's a short-term little put-down dopamine game with your Uncle Steve and his mod squad as they groom young Christian atheists. So, what we're talking about is lonely, boring people that have nothing better to do at the time, and they say to themselves, well, actually, this might be the best usage of my time coming here and running a room with a failed preacher and a Social Security employment lawyer expert. He's a super paralegal. Not a lawyer, just a super Jane, welcome to the show! Jane is a campaign contributor. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com. Listen, Jane, I know you suffer from toxoplasmosis from all your cat poop exposure over the years, but What we're trying to do here is hello? What we're trying to do here is help Scott and Steve polish her a little bit. Look in that mirror and say, you know what? John Kitover is a communication consultant, and he's giving us his free time to consult with the way that we produce and use our time. And we only get 2.5 billion seconds to live on average, so let's just consider what John Kitover is saying right now is a plus. You know, like the 1990s twin flame plus in the LGBTQIA plus. Yakov, welcome back to the show.
Have you been psychologically tested recently? No, I haven't.
Projection Mirror says, what? Is this the Ashkenazi Insane Asylum? Hello?
Oh.
Dr. Yakov.
Where's Scott? Where's Scott?
Dr. Yakov, I'm wondering.
Psychologically tested as we speak. Hi, Yakov. Hi, how are you? Jane, did you pass? Oh, just leave.
She just said hello and had to pop out quickly. Yakov, I'm wondering, do you think that at the root cause of a lot of this anti-Zionism is atheism?
No.
No?
No.
Interesting. Scott, welcome back to the show. I just thoroughly roasted you and Dr. Steve, aka Steve Apple, the world famous atheist. Welcome back to your show, Scott.
Do they pay, like, per event? Like, how does it, what's the... Can you, what, like, only certain religions, or civil? Like, what are they looking for?
The first part of communicating successfully is knowing if your audience can hear you. And as you're witnessing, Scott has no self-awareness because no one can hear him as he speaks.
Scott, you're a little low.
All right, sorry. There we go.
That's better. And I'd like to play the next clip after yours.
Go ahead. By the way, this clip is on the video. It just you can watch my wedding skills if you want. It's in the thing. Go ahead, Uncle Steve.
All right. So this is in response
And the
to
polarization and
what was
ideology.
happening when you were gone.
Some people are really fucking stupid. You ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day? God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad pencil with you, you wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day. Look at it this way. Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. And it doesn't take you very long to spot one of them, does it?
Peace needs an equilibrium, and the security situation with terrorism and the polarization and ideology. I was in Israel in 2002, and I met with Palestinians that crossed over from the West Bank, risking their lives to come talk to a group of American Jews on Birthright Israel. And we met with Israeli generals talking about the conflict with Egypt, the Cold War there. Israel is a state consistently and unfortunately always at war for security. Israel doesn't want that type of aggression. If we could somehow create an equilibrium and a peace, but it's the conflict between Islam, the ideology of it, versus the Jews, which, you know, if you look at the Charter of Medina, the history is there for the politicization and the ideology and the conflict and the friction. It's a very unfortunate reality. But the truth is that strength is the great joy of the world. And the individuals who don't want peace, that won't give up their weapons, you know, the gun is a political tool of survival. And I just hope that we can get a lot of these insane terrorists kicked off of this app, like Amir. And we can contact Clubhouse security and say, just go to Amir's room and listen to how he promotes terrorism.
murder of innocent people for the sake of political gain. That's what Amir's room does. It's an echo chamber of mind virus, brain rot, hate. They don't read books. They don't do peaceful meditation songs praying for internal peace, for world peace. They promote murder. So how do we let platforms like this get away with it? Why doesn't Clubhouse security censor these terrorists? Hello?
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody puts my candidate in the corner. Where do you go? That's strange.
I'm just saying there's a double standard when it comes to Israel hate, to Jew terrorism, murder, communication. The double standard is not just on this app, it's on YouTube, it's on all platforms. TikTok has recently only just begun censoring the insane Jewish libel, slander, hate, defamation, murder, death threats that these platforms distribute. It's very dangerous to be, in my opinion, to go out with Jewish representation, meaning a yarmulke or a tzitzit. If you go to a liberal progressive Democrat meeting or event, there are women and men that really hate Jews now because of all the propaganda that has been created on these platforms over the past couple. This needs an equilibrium, and the security situation with terrorism and the polarization and ideology. I was in Israel in 2002, and I met with Palestinians that crossed over from the West Bank, risking their lives to come talk to a group of American Jews on Birthright Israel. And we met with Israeli generals talking about the conflict with Egypt, the Cold War there. Israel is a state consistently and unfortunately always at war for security. Israel doesn't want that type of aggression if we could somehow create an equilibrium and a peace. But it's the conflict between Islam, the ideology of it, versus the Jews, which, if you look at the Charter of Medina, the history is there for the politicization and the ideology and the conflict and the friction. It's a very unfortunate reality. But the truth is that strength is the great joy of the world. And the individuals who don't want peace, that won't give up their weapons, the gun is a political tool of survival. And I just hope that we can get a lot of these insane terrorists kicked off of this app, like Amir, and we can contact Clubhouse security and say, just go to Amir's room and listen to how he promotes terrorism, murder of innocent people for the sake of political gain. That's what Amir's room does. It's an echo chamber of mind virus, brain rot, hate. They don't read books. They don't do peaceful meditation songs praying for internal peace, for world peace. They promote murder. So how do we let platforms like this get away with it? Why doesn't Clubhouse security censor these terrorists? Hello?
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody puts my candidate in the corner. Where do you go? That's strange.
I'm just saying there's a double standard when it comes to Israel hate, to Jew terrorism, murder, communication. The double standard is not just on this app, it's on YouTube, it's on all platforms. TikTok has recently only just begun censoring the insane Jewish libel, slander, hate, defamation, murder, death threats that these platforms distribute. It's very dangerous to be, in my opinion, to go out with Jewish representation, meaning a yarmulke or a tzitzit. If you go to a liberal progressive Democrat meeting or event, there are women and men that really hate Jews now because of all the propaganda that has been created on these platforms over the past couple. This needs an equilibrium, and the security situation with terrorism
It was just a random guy. People are amazing what they will follow, what they will believe. You're told once, it fits their view, whether it's real, true, logical, doesn't appear to matter unless you are a critical thinker. It appears we're lacking that.
Was lack of information, access to information, or desire to want to even read information. I'm surrounded by 10,000 books. You can go to these atheist, theist debate room, bro rooms. All they do is circle jerk each other infinitely all day long. It's a waste of time. It's like people never went to college, never read a book. Social audio won't fix shit for you or the world. This is a circle jerk game of dinner for schmucks. Go read a book, go to the gym, fatty.
Scott?
John Kitover. He's
You read a book,
Scott, I've got a question for you. That debate of Kasparian and Marr, was that from 2025 or was there a recent one?
It was recent.
So there's one they did in like December of 2025.
It might have been that one. It was on his Club Random podcast.
Was he like sitting in a chair?
Yep.
Yeah. That was just.
Scott, he's probably saucy because we're like trillions of dollars in debt. Like 130 something, almost 40 gone?
Tell us, Chuck.
Tell us the number. John got up, walked away from his computer, I
Well,
guess.
I'm going to tell you when you don't ask him.
Yeah, he's not. John likes to come in when he's an irritant. Like he's a gadfly. You know, it's not when you invite him conversationally. It doesn't. It's a turnoff.
You just have to tell them. You have to say, John, stop the fuckery. Be serious. You have to give your actual opinion.
I always do give my actual opinion.
He goes out of his schizophrenic thing and comes back to the actual.
Oh, really? You're the one who gets my YouTube accounts clipped because you make death threats against the M words. You got the most foul mouth on this app. Ozra's the biggest, most pernicious, psychotic, despoiler of my YouTube accounts. He says horrible things. Stuff that shouldn't be uttered because it's not coming from a place of peace inside of him. It's coming from a state of anxiety, depression, and rage and anger. Truly, if you want peace on the earth, you need to create peace within yourself, in the self, inside. That's the source of the peace you're looking for. There's nowhere to go but within. That's the truth of the earth. All you got to do is know the secret of the earth, which is ear, the first 3 letters of earth. Ear, listen. Use your ears. You got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you speak at least. That's the truth of the earth. And I am completed.
John, I think you're on the brink of a religion.
Well, I'm projecting peace, aren't I? As opposed to projecting war or death threats, like a lot of people on here. You know, if I just say come on here, I say peace, 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 peace. Peace now, peace now, peace now. Well, that's better than 99% of all the slop you're going to hear on this app. Peace now, peace now, peace now, peace now.
It's like people never want to. There's a lot of, I think we're contributing some quality content today. By the way, I want to welcome Caleb, one of the great rabbinic figures on the app. Caleb, great to see you. I'm glad you're having some summer golf in your life. And how's it going? Caleb is
All's good. All's good. Just had a lovely kosher turkey BLT club. Delicious. At the Deli King.
You have a little mayonnaise on that? What's the condiments on that?
Yeah, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, micron.
That sounds delicious.
It's a real gorgeous sandwich. All is well. How's the room going?
I say peace
A
now.
lot of clips today. We're talking about the Democratic Party and the challenge of Israel. There's a great forward article my buddy Benjamin put in his newsletter today, which I have been. We're talking about. Caleb, there's no Jews.
Peace needs an equilibrium, and the security situation with terrorism and the polarization and ideology.
Hey Scott, speaking of clips, can I clarify something in one of your clips you played about a while ago?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, it said something about there being no protests for I don't know, like not like.
It's like people never went to college, never read a book. Social audio won't fix shit for you or the world. This is a circle jerk game of dinner for schmucks. Go read a book, go to the gym, fatty.
Hey, Scott. Kitover. He's awesome. Scott, I've got a question for you. That debate of Kasparian and Moore, was that from 2025 or was there a recent one?
It was recent.
So there's one they did in like December of 2025.
Might have been that one. It was.
It's like people never went to college, never read a book. Social audio won't fix shit for you or the world. This is a circle jerk game of dinner for schmucks. Go read a book, go to the gym, fatty.
Hey, Scott.
Clip it!
Kitover. He's awesome. Scott, I've got a question for you. That debate of Kasparian and
Tribute. And he was very actively
Maxie, can you... Moderators, can I point us back to the title of the room? Maxie, can you answer the... Moderators, can we get back to the title of the room? Are Democrats obsessed with Israel? And am I saying the word Israel correct? Because Israel, L is basically the secret name for God. Like, look at El Normo. Why does he put L in front of normal? I heard norm. The normative is the guardian angel, the sweet spot. And so, to me, you know, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus here because I feel like, you know, the fact that I'm still even on this stage with Steve Apple. You know, Steve, I started a new show. It's called the Steve Apple Show. Because in my opinion, Steve, you know, if Judaism means anything, it really means the art of communication. And I think you're a master communicator. I think Scott is a master communicator. I think El Normo is a master of communication. And I think Caleb.
I'm a master of debate.
I agree. You know, I'm a
master at baiting people, Norm, which I guess would make me. Well, okay.
I'm a master baiter.
See, the fact that green beans can toss people to the goo and you can't do like a timed rotator where everybody gets like 1 minute and it rotates through the panel, like that would be a real, you know, high school, college debate club type of debate where you get to speak uninterrupted. And if our freedom of speech in our Constitution and Declaration on communication means anything, it means the freedom to say controversial things and upsetting things, but death threats, you can't do that. That's against the law. And I agree with that law. But I will just say, if a mob of Democrats, socialists, liberal, progressives are on my street corner trying to burn my house down, well, I could understand why Napoleon would roll out the cannons and the guillotines. And because the mob is not a political movement, the mob is a group of thieves and criminals looking to steal, rob, rip, and tear your property away from your flesh and kill you. We have to have law and order. And we have to have transparency. And these propaganda and ideologically polarized terrorist support, terrorist promotion rooms have to end. We have to get Amir's room shut down on this app. The fact that the moderators, the security on this app, Joe Armenia, if anyone in this room knows Joe Armenia, tell him to go sit in Amir's room for an hour a day and at least listen to what they say. They are promoting terrorism, the murder of innocent people for political gain. These people are sick. They are part of the resistance. They view their communication as being part of a resistance. They think that terrorist thugs in the Middle East are the resistance against law and order, basically. They're deranged. Hello? Oh my goodness, look who it is.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt a lot.
Hello?
Hello? Who's you, Scott?
Sorry, your
Judge,
footage was kind of bullshit, and it sucked. I apologize for interrupting.
we will go, Caleb.
Substantively, so as not to be bullshitty, which part do you disagree with?
Which part much agree with would be the better question to ask.
These are synonymous. I'm sure you know what synonymous means.
Yes, but the
Which part do you disagree with?
what he was indicating was quite. I think that it actually is a measure of society and where we are today. The fact that we can have this guy, John Kitover, who has literally recorded all of our conversations and posted them on.
You said he was bullshitting. Which part do you disagree with? Which part is the bullshit?
Oh, I don't think he actually believes in anything that he says.
Which part do you think he doesn't believe?
Oh, and anything that he's stating.
No, you're avoiding. You interrupted him to say that he was bullshitting. Which part is the bullshit? Otherwise, you're bullshit.
Projection mirror says what? The projection activation detection system has been activated.
Okay, fuck off. Sorry.
Fine, synchronous $10 for using profanity.
I don't think you actually have like that much of a disagreement with me.
Are you just a troll who wants to come on stage and yell curse words like that?
I understand what's going on. Synchronous thinks that Clubhouse is the Situation Room in the White House. That's why you think you were called for briefings at the White House. Got it. Clubhouse is a social audio conference call app for Circle Jerk participants to do dinner for schmuck put-down games and sit here and talk endlessly but never read books and gain any new knowledge whatsoever. Hello?
You don't read books? That's what I took from your speech.
Projection alert system has recorded another projection.
Fushta.
Exactly. Fushta is what is from the movie Dead and Loving It, when Mel Brooks or Liam Neeson, they couldn't let it go and had to get the last word, and so the last word was Fushta. But that comes from Jewish folklore where witches were saying, we know the secret word. And this Yiddishkeit, Mashiach now kind of guy, he was hiding in the cornfield and he heard these witches, these social liberal, progressive, Democrat, communist, abortionist, World War III vaccine type ladies. They were saying, he doesn't know the secret word. And then guess what? The witch says, what's the secret word? And the witch said, Fushta!
Can anyone hear this person?
Fushta!
He's a little insane. He's a little insane. That's for certain.
That's a feature, not a bug.
Right. That's a feature. Yes, Norm. Yes.
No, it is not what we would have paid for.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, if this is just my opinion, if you want to come on stage and say that John Kitover is totally nuts, totally psycho, you can't believe a single word that he says, that's cool. We, or Norm, or whoever probably wouldn't have challenged you. But when you come on stage and you say everything he said is wrong and the appropriate... could I just finish? I'll be quick, I promise. I don't ramble for a long time. But when the appropriate follow-up question, which Norm said and I thought was very appropriate, well, exactly what did he say was wrong, rather than saying, okay, ABC 1, 2, 3, you kind of hemmed and hawed. So I just wanted to point out that fact. That's all.
I just want to point out the fact that if you're an atheist, and if you're a theist, and if you really believe in the existence and the power of the Supreme Lord, when you're speaking out loud and praising God, when you're praising God, God is listening. And I want God, Hashem Rabbon Shalom, to take his nachas, to take his neshama, and shove it right up Steve's 7th chakra, and activate all his 7 chakras. so that he can
He
come.
gets penalty box for 2 minutes. He's got 5 minutes in the penalty box, then we'll bring him back up.
And you get a penalty kick though in the form of one of his joint clips.
In the and the knackers.
And for the record, as soon as I came in the room, he started attacking me and saying all these things that weren't true. And rather than responding, my choice was just to remain silent. And I didn't even respond to it until Reverend Scott came in the room. What did I miss? And then I thought it was very appropriate to play the George Carlin clip because it just perfectly expressed what I was feeling. But I didn't feel the need to, respond to him because I've challenged him to debates before. He's talked about debates. He couldn't hold a candle to me debating. I'll give him an open invite right now. He's so hot on debates and he thinks atheism is stupid and ridiculous and the cause of everything. Here's an open invite. I'll debate him anytime.
This is why men shouldn't be in leadership positions. I don't know how many examples I can give, but we've seen example after example of people really cluster-fucking the world. Gas is up. That is a thing. People want to believe that, there was a negotiation, there was something that was arbitrarily designed and it didn't work out. We have seen so many examples of this happening across the globe at this point that I'm literally wondering why not a woman? Why not a female president? Why not somebody that can actually get shit done? Do a better job?
All right. Synchronous item. Is this another account?
Nope, it's my original account.
Oh, the original. I love it. It's fantastic. All right, Caleb, in honor of your lunch sandwich mention.
Hey, John. Can't catch it. That figure's perfect. So bummed out. Awful. So it's not you. It's not you. It's the writing. Why am you? I was in his office. You're filming him. Yeah. You got all sorts. Yeah. Check out the pilot.
What is happening?
Guess what? Leo's. They named a sandwich after me. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. A sandwich. That's wonderful, man. That's on the board. You've arrived. I am on the board. That is fantastic. Yep. I was wondering, because I know you don't go in there very much. I'm in there. I'm in there 3 times a week. And in as much as you don't go in there, I was just thinking that maybe, because my sandwich is a great sandwich, but I'm not really a fish guy. And it's kind of you gotta like fish. You like fish, but anyway. So I was thinking maybe you wouldn't mind switching with me. Switching sandwich? Yeah, because you don't go in there. I'd like to eat my own sandwich. It would be fun to go in with my dad and eat my own sandwich, Huh? Well, what's the harm? Really? Yeah, why not? Fantastic. Just so everyone asks you what's in my new sandwiches. Oh, okay. It's, whitefish. Whitefish? Whitefish. Whitefish and sable. Sable, it's a fish. It's a fish like a whitefish. Smoked fish. Smoked fish, yeah. You have two fishes. Yeah, but they blend very well together. They're like Siamese twins. Great case. This is amazing. There may be some capers, I'm not sure. If you don't like it, you can crush them on. That's not a big deal. Onions.
So how'd they feel, you dork?
No,
King whatever had a freaking lisp, and everybody's like, yo, don't get beheaded. We'll just speak weird. There you go. Now we say it with that.
So,
Hey everybody, I'm a book.
Yeah, they're just happy that...
I'm a book. Have you heard of me?
When I speak Spanish...
Many of you haven't read a book in years, but here I am.
Book, we can't hear you. Your
Well, Austin Powers is always over talking.
Oh, that's Kitover. Okay. Are you going to let us talk, or are you going to just derail the conversation, Kitover?
Well, I just wanted to introduce myself. Sorry, please proceed.
Okay.
Well, Caleb, I assume you're not going to be ordering a Larry David anytime soon.
No Larry Davids, although we're planning our daughter's bat mitzvah and like the luncheon or whatever. I'm talking to the caterer yesterday, Monday. What do you want? You have bagels, schmears, lox, yes, lox. Do you want sable and whitefish? I'm like, I don't need the fish. Whitefish salad? Yeah, I'll take whitefish salad.
Salmon and whitefish are halfway to the sandwich. All you need is capers, then you're going to Larry David.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You got it all. Some red onions, cream sauce. Yeah.
When Jeff adds the capers, that just makes it for me. What else? Capers. Not the best sandwich.
Well, what's the consensus? Democrats are obsessed with Israel.
Yeah, hey Caleb, you're a Democrat and a rabbi. You want to speak to the topic? I mean, give us some rabbinical wisdom on the topic at hand.
I don't know if I have any rabbinic wisdom. I think it's kind of true. It's kind of true. What I find bothersome about it is the unique attention that Democrats have to Israel. And the unique way that they say Israel is the singular evil of the world. And just if Israel would stop doing what Israel does, then the world would be better. I don't think that's exclusive to the Democrats or the far Democrats or whatever. I think some on the right are saying similar kinds of things. It's pretty bothersome. I don't know what I will do politically, voting-wise. It's going to be a challenge for me, I think. But yeah, it's not great when the Jews and Israel become a central part of domestic politics. It's never good for the Jews. Never good for the Jews.
And what did you think, Caleb, of Rahm Emanuel's attempt to threaten the universe? I think Rahm Emanuel was trying to stake out some new ground around this, kind of moving away from the J Street position or something, or maybe defending the old J Street. Yeah, I mean the old J Street position used to be, I hate Netanyahu, don't support the government, but I'm a staunch supporter of Israel.